So the AKAI MPK Mini is one of the most popular mini MIDI controllers, and for good reason. Pads, knobs, and keys, it's supported by pretty much every DAW, and it's got a couple bonus features like a joystick, a built-in arpeggiator, and for a unit this size and this kind of controller, a sustain port. I would consider that a bonus feature. It's probably one of the most widely used controllers, whether it's by home studio musicians that are hobbyists or by producers and performers that are pros. But AKAI has stirred up a little bit of confusion with the release of the MPK Mini Play. Now at face value, they look pretty similar, but if you look up the features, it's got pretty much everything that the original MPK has, plus 128 sounds, plus 10 drum kits, built right in. And it's only about $30 more at the time of making this video than the original MPK. So the average consumer might just say, hey, why not spend $30 more and get a ton of built-in sounds and have something that I can use standalone and for live performance without a computer? I say not so fast. But before we get in too deep with the AKAI MPK Mini Play, there's a reason that I'm answering these questions in your comments. I started this channel so that I could help home studio musicians and producers understand some of these core concepts which I've spent years learning. And if you're somebody who's looking for a more formal approach to learning online, you should check out Skillshare, the sponsor for today's video. Skillshare is an online learning community for creators with over 25,000 classes in business, music, video production, and more. A premium membership gives you unlimited access to all the classes on Skillshare, which means you can take the courses you want when you want. And it's super affordable. The premium membership is under $10 a month. But for my subscribers, you can get 2 months free by clicking the link in the description. Think about all you could learn in 2 months. If you are in my comment section and you're frustrated about learning about MIDI controllers or music production or making your own channel, you should definitely take advantage of this 2 months. You could learn a lot in such a small amount of time. There's a lot that goes into being a home studio music producer or a content creator. You're pulling from so many different skill sets that formal education probably doesn't make sense. With Skillshare, you're learning the specific skills you need in that moment. You're not tied to any specific curriculum. So join the 7 million other creators learning with Skillshare by using the link in my description and getting your 2-month free trial. But let's get into a little more about the MPK Mini Play. The big selling point of the MPK Mini Play is that it could be used standalone. You could use this by itself without a computer. All you have to do is switch the power to battery mode. It turns on with the little screen. And you have sounds. I didn't need to hook this up into anything. I just turned it right on and I'm already playing music. And while that does sound like an awesome deal and it's wrapped in the package of the MPK Mini, which is a highly regarded MIDI controller, I would very much caution you if you're looking to use this as a standalone device. And here's why. The MPK Mini Play doesn't have a sequencer. That's just a fancy way of saying you can't go ahead and make beats or make a song with just this keyboard. There's no way to actually loop what you're playing. So if you wanted to record some of those jams that you're making while not attached to anything like a computer, you're out of luck. You would have to either hook up a looping pedal or actually plug this into a laptop or some other recorder to capture the sounds that are happening. So that kind of takes away the advantage of being able to be unplugged. But you could say, hey TAETRO, I don't care about making songs or producing beats with the MPK Mini Play. I just want something that's easy to play live. I can take this, perform with my band, add some keyboard parts, some synth leads, maybe a couple drum samples. I say not so fast on that too. The most appealing part of this controller are the 128 built-in sounds. But unfortunately, those 128 sounds plus 10 drum kits are the reason I'm saying you don't need this. The sounds built into the MPK Mini Play are general MIDI sounds. These are basically sounds that are optimized for storage, so they don't take up a lot of room, which is why AKAI can pack in 128 plus 10 drum kits into this little keyboard. And they are basically the same sounds that come with any at-home keyboard. So if you've seen keyboards on the toy shelves in like a Target or a Walmart and it comes with sounds, take a look at it and you might notice that they also have 128 sounds with the same titles as the sounds included in this keyboard. That's because these are not really great pro sounds. These are really amateur, beginner, tiny file size sounds that are basically just used as stock sounds on any keyboard. And there is a little bit of control over the sounds. You have filter and resonance as well as some reverb and some chorus, but you can only do so much to help these sounds. I want to show you what I mean by comparing a couple of the sounds on the MPK Mini Play to some stock Ableton sounds. So here's a comparison of the grand piano from Ableton's stock grand piano, and the AKAI MPK Mini's grand piano. Now I'm going to compare analog from Ableton's square lead to the square lead on the MPK Mini Play. And here's a comparison of Ableton's 808 core kit and the 808 kit on the MPK Mini Play. And the list goes on and on. I did a more in-depth sound showcase of the MPK Mini Play in my other video that I'll link up there. And in some aspects, the MPK Mini Play lives up. But take that 808 kit, for example. There's reverb on that kit that is not supposed to be there. I had my reverb turned all the way down. So you just have this lack of control that's kind of frustrating. And some sounds like the guitar and the string sounds are just not even worth having on there. So even if you were thinking about this as a live performance use case, the benefit to just adding a laptop and a USB cable to this very simple setup and using the normal AKAI MPK is exponentially beneficial, because you're going to sound exponentially better using anything besides general MIDI sounds. But maybe this doesn't even solve your problem. Maybe the MPK Mini is not what you want, because you want something you can take on the go and actually make songs with and not have to plug into a computer. And if that's something that you're looking for, I have a much better solution than the AKAI MPK Mini Play. And it's right here. The Novation Circuit. Now, it's not a keyboard, but what it lacks in having, traditional keys, it makes up for in just about every area. It has a sequencer. You can loop with this. It has 2 synths and 4 drum channels. The best part about the drum channels is you can import your own samples. So say you're a producer and you use something like Splice, or you make your own samples, or you just have a collection of sounds that you love to use, but you're stuck having to use your laptop all the time. If you want to take those samples on the go, you can load them right in here. And then you actually have something that sounds like you. You're not forced to use cheap amateurish sounds that come in the MPK Mini Play. Now, the price tag on this is a bit heftier, but there's a reason for that. And there's a reason that the AKAI MPK Mini Play is only $30 more than a basic MIDI controller like its little brother, the AKAI MPK Mini. It's because you're not getting that much added benefit by just getting some general MIDI sounds. This has a heftier price tag because it can do a lot more. And if you are that person searching for a way to make songs or beats without being tethered to a laptop or being able to easily take something on the go, I definitely think you should check out the Novation Circuit, which I've had for over 3 years, and it served me very, very well. The big question that I am getting constantly on my videos featuring AKAI MPK products is, should I get the MPK Mini or should I get the MPK Mini Play? And if you've watched this far, you already know my answer. Just stick with the AKAI MPK Mini. Especially since if you're just getting into production and you're gonna grow as a music producer, you're gonna outgrow the sounds on the MPK Mini Play really fast, and you're gonna end up using this as just a MIDI controller anyway. So save yourself $30 and get something that's gonna be a lot more useful to you. Not to mention that this has 8 knobs, and this has 5, which doesn't really gel well with a DAW like Ableton, whose macros each have 8 knobs, which this lines up with perfectly. So my recommendation, stick with the AKAI MPK Mini. But what do you think? You should let me know in a comment down below if I missed some type of use case for the MPK Mini Play. A lot of people ask if you can put your own sounds on it. Nope. But that would have been a great feature. If you could load your own samples into at least the drum pads, that might make it worth it. But no luck here with the MPK Mini Play. Give this video a like if you enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy live electronic music performances, tutorials, and content to make you a more productive producer. This has been TAETRO. Have a good one.